Hello again. Literally this is a Let's Chat episode. I think this would be Let's Chat episode 4. And one reason why I'm doing a Let's Chat, because I'm going to actually put this up on a Friday, which is usually where it goes anyway. But since I'm lacking, I have yet to actually, well, no, should have one posted prior, which, what's today, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Days are like all over my head because I don't do much. But anyway, this Let's Chat, because it's gorgeous out here, and I'm out here with the doggies again, like always. But this Let's Chat is quite interesting because if you watch the video before this, if it's in that sequence, I actually have a nice rash. I don't know if you all can see that, probably not. See that nasty little thing right there? Yeah, this is basically, it ties into the last video. I am hypersensitive to poison ivy because when I was like my freshman year in high school, we were going out in it's either my earth science class or biology, I can't remember, but we were supposed to get samples of leaves and stuff from each tree and categorize it for one of our projects that I utterly failed. I tried, but I still failed. And me and this one other kid, we were lagging behind because I was like, oh, what's this? What's this? I was just grabbing and trying to identify as I went. But it ended up that he had a nice big sprig of poison ivy. He realized that after he picked it, it was poison ivy, and he shook it really hard, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. And I ended up getting it in my eyes. It was literally, it made my eyes poof up. I looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Notre Dame right there. I blacked out because I was at home and I seen it in the morning. I fainted. But this time around, this is a transfer from my doggies because I didn't know I had poison oak in the backyard, and now it's not there. My guy made sure it's not there. Ooh, and this bad boy is sleeping, and I have nothing to help me with it. But anywho, if any of you all out there in the YouTubers ever have poison ivy or poison oak or sumac, I've never had sumac, thank the stars, because I don't think we have poison sumac in Ohio. But it's just one of those things. I just figured, hey, why not? Let's just chat about that. And to be real honest with you, I know some people are highly allergic to it. My fiance Mike, he is very allergic to it too. I didn't happen to get that way. It just happened to be in my eyes at one point in time. And boy, you can see glare galore off my glasses. Anyway. But from what experiences I've had with having both now, I'll take the poison ivy over the poison oak. Oak seems to travel, and if you feel tingling, I had tingling up here in my hands before I started taking my medicine that I got yesterday. But I've had tingling here, and I've had tingling in my shoulder. And the nurse practitioner I seen at the urgent care center yesterday, she said, oh, that's where it's going to pop up next. I'm like, oh my God, my arm is going to be all sorts of nastified because not only do I have this big one here, I have this little one. I don't know if you can see it. I have that little one right there. And I have all sorts of little nodules that are started. But it's really weird because all this irritation is from the plant, and it's trying to defend itself. You can't knock something for trying to defend itself in the way it does. It's like a frog. If you have your animal accidentally lick a frog and their tongue goes crazy, that's because the frog let out a bit of poison because it's got poison glands. If I wasn't so deathly afraid to pick up a toad, I would go show you one of my big toads that are in my yard. But I leave them alone. But the cheeks, what you think are cheeks, but the big nodules that you see by their eyes and a couple other spots, those are poison glands. And if you squeeze them, you can see the poison in them. But that's one other thing. I mean, plants and animals, they have to defend themselves. If they don't, then there would be none. Well, there would be carnivores, but then the carnivores would die after they eat each other in cannibalistic acts. But it's just one of those things that I was just decided, oh, why not? I'll just do it so I can have it posted. Well, not really posted, but so I can have it. But anyway, I went to the urgent care yesterday. They gave me what I knew I was going to get because I had it for poison ivy. They gave me a 6-day dose of steroids. First day you start out with 6 pills. You take 2 breakfast, 2 lunch, 2 supper. Oh, it's more than that, but still. No, it's 6 because you take 1 at breakfast, 2 at lunch. So that's 2, 3, so on. And then you take 2 at bedtime. Today, since it's my 2nd dose, I took 1 when I got up before I ate. The doses went down, so it's 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner, and 2 for bedtime. So I've taken my first 3. And so I have my bedtime dose, which is 2. But on the contrary, they kind of make me loopy. When I first took them yesterday, oh my gosh. We got somebody on one of my Jamboree pages on Facebook decided to post Confederate flag and how it should be banned from being issued or being allowed to be used on a nail wrap. But if you actually come to think of it, that flag is a material object. I understand it could stand for racism and all that other crap, but really, in the hands of a man who is racist, flag is racist. In the hands of a flag, that Confederate flag, if you put it in the hands of a gay person, I love gay people, please don't take offense, but if you put it in the hands of a gay person, does that make the flag gay, and does that make the world seem correct in thinking, oh, that flag is gay, we don't want it, let's ban it? No. I mean, for the LGBT, I always get that wrong, but for them to have their own flag that's a rainbow that represents the whole community of gays and lesbians alike. Gays, it's like gays, lesbians, bis, and transsexuals or something. If I butcher it and somebody, please comment below what it, I always confuse it, but just comment below and tell me what it really is. But I love gay people. I have no issue with the gay society. I mean, my cousin, well, I have a lot of cousins that are gay, but my favorite cousin that I love because I grew up with him, he is a drag queen, and don't get me wrong, that I love him, but man, he's got some showmanship. He's got makeup skills. I have none. I told him, I was like, you should do my makeup. He's like, no, then you'll look like a hooker. Then you stand on the street. I was like, that would be funny, but still. But I love him to death. I mean, his stage name is Feliciana Thunderpussy. I know it's a crazy name, but it makes sense. It fits the personality he has. And his friends are all cool. I mean, he can drop a dirty joke, and they are extremely hilarious. I mean, he's not the only gay person in my family. My brother, who's my second oldest brother, he's gay, but it doesn't bother me. And my cousins are gay. I have female cousins that are lesbians. I mean, how could... They're family. You don't dismiss family in what their sexual orientation is. So it's like, why? And I see this Let's Chat with... It's a multi-topic again. I guess it's because I feel that if you think about what has happened in the past at the church that just got shut up because the boy... Yes, he's a boy. I don't care if he's 21. He's a child, because only children think that killing that many innocent people, be it black, white, purple, pink, yeah, you name it, being of any color, would start a race war. No, that's stupid thinking. It's why? Nothing. You want everybody to work together. This is what the United States is. It's united because we all have the same belief, the same things going on. We all have the same beliefs about what's going on. And unbelievably, for him starting that, and then he had the Confederate flag in his hand in a picture, that's how come that all started. Oh no, we're going to take this down. It's banned here, it's banned there. Well, I understand that the Confederate flag was back in the slavery days used, but it's also a war flag, so it shouldn't technically be banned. It's like saying you're going to ban the Mexico flag in the United States because, oh, we don't like all these Mexicans. I'm Mexican. My family's Mexican. I know quite a few Mexicans. It's like, why? You're destroying history and all that good stuff. I mean, you think of it, out of all the materialistic objects, what if somebody, well, I know a lot, it's history stuff, is basically what this is, and if you're a history buff, you would understand. I like history, it gets to me every now and then, but you think about it. Our flag, our stars and stripes, they have meaning. The stars are the 50 states. The red is the blood of every soldier who's given up their lives to save this and whatnot. I forget what the white actually stands for in the blue. I do. But you think about it. Flags are symbols. And without the symbols, would there be major religion? I mean, there's a lot of religion out there, and there's a lot of paganism out there. I know you're probably going to turn it off at this point. You're probably going to say, "Oh no, you're so wrong. You're so undereducated, and you sound stupid. You sound ignorant." No. Be honest with you. Everybody has a right to their opinion, but I'm just going to go briefly into religion because it coincides with this whole issue unbelievably. But the Christians have Christ, Jesus, God. The Hindus have their deities, and the one that comes to mind besides Buddha, but Buddha's more Indian, I think. Some of them just culturally clash, but many places have many deities. I myself am a Wiccan, and I believe in the sun and the moon. The moon being Goddess Artemis, Diana. It's a triple. If you believe in Diana, you're on the feminist side of it, where she's a protector and she looks out for people. Well, Artemis does the same thing. They're just one whole ball. I believe in the Greek mythology. I love the Greek mythology. So the moon is Diana. The sun, which you can see, if you can see it on my hand, the sun is Fion. And with having both of them, I basically have the whole belief system in nature, and the tidal poles and solar flares, all that. I believe in all that. It may not seem like it. I may seem like a bitch to some people when I say, oh no, I don't want to talk about religion. You're going to hate me because of it. It's the truth, because you really might hate me for it. That's why I'm only briefly, just a little. Because the thing that happened with the church shooting in South Carolina is, I believe there are Christians or Catholics, but that doesn't mean anything. They were innocent people who got shot up while they were praying to their deity because some idiot kid wanted to start a race war. And to be honest with you, I know there's many, many racist people out there. I mean, you can't not say, oh, I'm not a racist. If you don't like a certain thing, certain cultural for what they have and what they have to offer, and you say, oh, excuse me for the derogatoriness right now, oh, them Japs, they don't know anything. They can't even speak proper English. I hate to tell you, but the Japanese people do know English because they can learn it in schools. It's one of the top languages to learn. I mean, I myself, I would love to learn Japanese. I would love to learn any language, but I have such a hard time with it. Actually, the only one I have a hard time learning is Spanish. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I just can't. But, I mean, it's like everybody in the American society calling people who work out in the fields, the farmers and the cool country boys and the country girls, they call them all rednecks and whatnot. Well, within rednecks, you have great ingenuity. And there's somebody somewhere. And my doggies are barking. But anyway, when you say redneck, oh, that's not really derogatory. People are very proud of that. I mean, a redneck, it can be classified many different ways. For me, a redneck is somebody who has fun going mudding, who is very smart. They are actually very attractive. They have a great sense of humor. I mean, you name it. It's basically like a dating site. That's how people correspond with people. Oh, you blue bloods. Oh, you're born with a spoon in your mouth. You don't know what hard work is. Oh, wait. You don't know how to work that? What were you? Well, to me, a blue blood, unbelievably, blue collar, blue blood, to me, it's about the same. It's literally like I just said. Oh, you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You haven't had to work a day in your life to try and get anything. You didn't have to work while you're in school. You didn't have to do this or that. Your mommy and daddy gave you everything. It's not true for most people, because they actually work very, very hard for what they have and very, very hard for what they do. And there's lazy people. I actually kind of classify myself in the lazy people section. But I actually, once I do get going and do start working and all that, I love it. I mean, I miss work. I've been out of work for almost 6 months now, because this is the 5th month. So yeah, it's almost totally off. No, it is. I've been out of work for almost 6 months. I tell you, every time I do work, I love it. How do you not? I mean, you're making your own money. Excuse me. You're independent. You pay your bills like an adult. And you're basically living a life you want to live. Well, my life personally, I love it. Despite you think I don't do much, but I think that's because I have a slight depression issue. And I used to be really bad. I mean, really bad. I actually had suicidal thoughts at one point in time. And you never want those. I mean, when I was with my ex-husband, and when I met Mike, they coincided, obviously, because they have to. But I was so depressed, I was going out of my mind, that I was trying to slit my wrist. I know, I'm sorry, but I didn't really do it. I can't, because I think about everybody. I think about my nieces, my nephews, my parents, my brothers. Oh, I don't have a baby yet. I want a baby so bad. I think about all that. I mean, if you don't think about all that and you do self-harm, where are you going to go? You're going to go straight 6 feet under or cremated. And I didn't want to miss life. I mean, life is what you make it out to be. And even through what I just said earlier in this video, because I love to get off topic apparently, but I love life. Even with this bad, oh, you can't see it. Oh, there it is. Even with this bad thing. I mean, it's a life experience. How do you live without life experiences? I mean, everything coincides in it. Your news, your weather, you name it. But Nope. Nobody's there. But how do you live without a life experience? I mean, I myself, I've had crap ton of life experience, be it bad and good. But I really, honestly, like I said, I really want a baby. I've been trying for years. I got pregnant 4 years ago now, but I miscarried. And that's my earliest one. I miscarried when I was 22 as well. And that changes you. That makes you say, hey, if I can have a baby, that means I can have a family, and maybe that will help the mind out. Well, that was my thought anyway. And unbelievably, I still want a child. I mean, everybody's getting older. Everybody in my family basically has a baby. Me, I wanted one since I was 22, since I realized I could get pregnant because I wasn't sure. But I've been trying. My ex-husband, we couldn't do anything because both of us are messed up. And it's just one of those things where it just dawns on your head. It just weighs heavily because you told him this is what you wanted when you met him. And he said, oh yeah, oh yeah. So last time I got pregnant, it wasn't even his. It was somebody else's because I couldn't live that way. I mean, I was getting no attention. It was one of those kind of relationships. Oh, you're there, you're there. Oh, you can cook me dinner, you can do this, you can do that. It's like I was basically a housewife without a house. And then I met my guy. I met my fiance, I should say. And he's like, oh, you don't have to do that. Let me do that. And it was a big 360 or a 180. It's a 180. It's whatever you want to call it. I mean, I go from, oh, I have to be strong because my ex has seizures, he's got epilepsy, and we have no money. I have to go find work. I have to pay for this. I have to get a car. No, it went from I to we. Like French, oui. But it went from I to we. And it still takes me a little bit to get used to the we part, but he is the best thing that actually happened to me. If it wasn't for him, then I don't know where I would actually be. It's just one of those, I get stressed out, I think suicidal thoughts, and that's never the way to actually think of anything. And the people who actually know me, I'm actually a positive person. I have a standing bitch face. Yeah, if you know on Facebook and you've seen that thing, yeah. I have a standing bitch face like most people. I mean, I'll sit there, I don't know what to do, so I'll just sit there like, I don't know. I'll just sit there basically like that. And once they get to know me, if you can get past this, you realize that I'm more than just fucked up dental. I mean, I can talk like this still, and you can kind of sort of hear me. It's like a ventriloquist. You have to talk from here. I think my doggies wanted. But anyway, let me try and finish up here because this is a really long video. And I don't know if you're going to love me or hate me for it. Probably hate me, and I probably won't have any subscribers after this. But anyway, as I say, I wanted a baby. I still want a baby. I know what's wrong. It's me. It's on me. I'm the weirdest one in my family. I mean, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's a semi-diagnosis for my GYN. And he gave me all these pills to take. I still have them. But I'm after this course of my stuff for my arm, then I'm basically gonna start taking glucophage again so I can start ovulating, because I went a month, basically 2 months without having my cycle. So maybe once that, since it's kicked in right now, it'll stay like that, and hopefully his knee will be better. Good enough, I should say. Only way it'll be better is if he has an actual knee replacement surgery, because he's missing about this much meniscus, which is a cartilage in between your knee. So hopefully we can conceive sometime soon. And while I'm working towards that still, because I mean, I'm 34 right now, unbelievably. I hate actually saying it. It took me the whole year to get used to 33. But from the standpoints of everything I read, oh, 35's danger zone. Oh, I'm cusping the danger zone. But I would just love one. If I get two, I will be extremely happy. And he's already got names picked out for him. And they're very nice names, so I won't sit there and say, no, I don't like this. But I told him, like, well, if it's twin girls, then you'll have your Maria Rose, and I will have, I don't know, all the names I picked got shot down, which is funny. But they're just names. I mean, if they don't sound good together, then what you gonna do? I mean, heck, I told him the names I picked out before was Emma Rose and Trip Anders, because I have a friend named Trip Anderson, and I like his name Trip. And the actual only middle name to go well with that is Anders. So it's basically a nod to him because I like that name. I still like that name. No one in my family has that name, that's fine. But my fiance's names he's chose for the kids are Maria Rose and Xander Scott. Maria Rose, Marie is for his mom, and Rose, which is the variation of my name, is for me. But there's also a standing name. Nearly everybody in my family has Rose in it. So that's how come I'm Rosa. Figure I'm going to keep that alive. We'll just keep that going. But it's just one of those things. And hopefully, this channel will probably turn into, oh my gosh, I got such a big belly. You should look at it. It's like this kid, it's unbelievable. And then you'll hear, oh, why would you want to get pregnant? There's always ups and downs of pregnancy. I figured that out since I've carried 3 months. I think 16 weeks was the highest I've carried. Because my first pregnancy was 12 weeks, they told me. And my second one was 16 weeks. I would have actually had him to term, but at the doctor's office, my amniotic sac was, I have a small cervix, that's why. It decided, oh, you're pushing too hard, let's go. And it broke there. And then they sent me home, and then I went back. Very weird hospitals. But I went back to the hospital, and they basically said, oh, you're having this one naturally. We're not going to do anything. It's like we see the foot. I'm like, oh, that's nice. They sent me home first, but once I felt him start to come, I couldn't take it at home. I told my ex, like, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do with the baby? I can't do this. This feels wrong to me. It's not right. He's like, well, let's go. So I went to the hospital up there on the east side, which East Siders in Toledo will know what hospital that is because it's right behind Myers. And from there I went to the main hospital in Toledo, and I was there from like 5 a.m. to 9, and I was sleep deprived a little bit because I wouldn't let myself sleep. Because let me tell you, I'm a snorer. If you're ever a loud snorer like I am, I snore like the rest of my family. Because I have issues with my nose. But anyway, I snore. So that's why I was up and down. But I had the baby naturally at like 7:30 in the morning. And I got to see him. I got one picture of him. That's the one thing I have. And he was born on my Uncle Lewis's birthday. So in spirit of him, and I don't know if I heard him talk in my mind, but he got to name the baby. He calls him Cameron James, which I'm very happy because I do like that name. I just spelled Cameron Camren versus A-N, Cameron, because that doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, if you've made it to the end of this long video of me spewing about what's current, what's not, my personal life, if you've sustained yourself for about 30 minutes, I'll see you folks, because you sustained like 31 minutes of me just gabbing. Gabbing. Okay, I'll leave you. But you could always leave comments below. And you could like. Oh, yeah. You can like. You can subscribe. You can make me happy. Share. I share. And if you subscribe, you'll get a shout out. And if you want yours